These next few aerial photos are a large portion of the George Hiler Senior Farm. The left side become Bob Hiler, the middle was Charles Hiler, and the right was Jean Pieper, which was Bob and Charles's sister. The majority of the rest of these photos and videos that will follow are part of the Charles Hiler estate, including this house, which he and Mary, his wife, were so proud of. I'm guessing this was built about 1990 or 91. The following photographs are taken by a person hired by a realtor of the inside of Charles's house, including the garage pool table he purchased. He wanted to play with his kids and grandkids. Wood-burning stove, which he was excited to burn wood like his father did. Dad's wood stove. When he moved in here, he was excited to get a wood stove. And he's going to cut wood and burn it. And he did for a couple years, but it gets pretty dirty, nasty when you burn wood inside a house and then stopped. Out here in the barn, listening to it rain. Never mind the mess, I'm cleaning up. Sure, Dad stand here a lot of times when it's raining. He'd get done working. Watch, listening to the rain. I built this little room in the back of the barn. I think it was going to be an exercise room. John did some of this. It's coming down. Rain's really coming down. It reminds me of my grandfather a little bit. He owned all this property that Dad's got, and then he owned a lot more too, including that barn over there. There's a big pond over that way. There's always cows in that field when I was a kid. The rain reminds me of him because, well, when he died, it was, my memory's off sometimes, but it was, I thought it was 1989. I think somebody corrected me as 1988 or one or the other, I don't know. But it was a drought that year, big drought. If you look it up and see which year was a drought, that was the year he passed. And he was a farmer his whole life, I think. And at his funeral, it started raining, just like this, and the drought was over. I thought that was kind of fitting, I don't know. Weird, I guess. This box of new bolts. It weighs about 100 pounds, I think. I don't think I can lift it. We bought this flagpole set up, I think at a bluegrass festival. He used to like to visit them. I think him and Mom might have bought it. He was proud of that. Growing up, for whatever reason, we could never have gas cans that was marked what's in it. Most of the time, just no markings. Just, you had to know what was in what can. When he got older, he started painting them orange for diesel. I don't know what would have hurt getting a permanent marker writing diesel on that, but it's the way it was. Can't bring myself to throw this whole card table away. My mom and Dad and their good friends, Bud and Frida. I think Dad, for a hobby, decided he wanted to paint some things, and I think this might have been the first thing he painted. I'm not sure, this American flag, because it's kind of withered. But he enjoyed that. He thought it was neat. So he started painting all kind of things. Cincinnati Reds. Did this bale pouch, chew bale pouch, tobacco, treat yourself to the best. But look at this, he did a good job on that. That looks really good. I like that. So then he moved on to the big barn. Said, I'll start painting the big barn then. Of course, he likes the Bengals. They really like the UC. And then the Xavier. Of course, just because it's Cincinnati, he liked UC a lot better. Well, he had to paint a WB at the time his grandkids were at Western Brown. And of course, he had a grandchild play for Felicity. So I painted the Felicity Franklin. And I don't know where the Buckeyes come in. I'm not sure if Dad was always a Buckeyes fan or he had a grandson that went to Ohio State and that's when he painted it. But he was probably an Ohio State fan before that. Then he And then he started cleaning his paintbrushes off on the light post, which was interesting. Painted the swing. Of course, picnic table. I'm sure he painted it. And this dog here's been on his porch. I took it off his porch, put it on this picnic table. I don't know if the new owners will, I'm sure they won't want it. But that dog's been on his porch for a long time, and that turtle on this picnic table as long as I can remember. Put a swing in for the grandkids. Maple tree planted. When we first moved in, I believe, that maple tree, and that maple tree, and that maple tree. I believe y'all planted those three right away. Oh, and there's another one on that side of the house. And burning bush. The wind would blow them so bad, these bushes. Made them grow sideways. Inside the garage here, I think that's a Sharpie rather than a painting, but he did that. That was really neat. Painted the Hiler game room and pool hall. We already painted over the things inside. I wish you could have seen some of his paintings inside the house. They weren't really paintings like this. All the rooms were unique colors. You'd have just had to seen them. Of course, he's a Jeff Gordon fan and NASCAR from way back. And Ken Griffey, the Reds. Dad's tractor. 1720 Ford New Holland. Two-wheel drive. Dad's toy he'd like to take rides on. Take the dog ride. This is the initial tree. And this is the dog Dad's had on his porch for a long time. Feel like littering, but we're going to leave it there and maybe it'll stay there for a while. Who knows? Big tree fell. A couple years ago we was going to cut it up this year, but now we're not. But we got Dad's initials in it anyway. Always trying to stop the erosion. It's the last tree we cut into here. Last tree a Hiler will cut on this property. Unless it's a long time from now, I reckon. This big old hickory tree. Magnolia tree hanging on it. It was either cut or split, and then it fell, and then it reached down into the ground, and then it's up, and there's all kind of new shoots. I don't know if you can see from the video, but those green are all new leaves coming out on this magnolia tree. It goes way out there. It actually starts way back here, and then it split. This is that quicksand the Lone Ranger used to warn us about. See what I mean? It's sinking. This is not slow motion, but also the box turtle went inside its shell. Used to be a big grapevine hang from that tree. And we cut the end, a big grapevine. Dad cut the end and he'd swing out over there and we'd all swing out. That's pretty far down. dandy. Bunch of trees in this. This is the area with the massive trees. And they're so straight. Notice how straight these trees are. And just massive. Dad first moved in and got the house done. We built a trail, like a natural park trail. John and Dad and me, and we had a bridge that went across here, and those posts are still left from that. It was really nice. That tree's been hanging out there since Grandpa's times, and they just plow around it. Here's the pond. They had a pond dug for fill dirt to backfill the house and put some, there's catfish in there, different fish Dad put in there. Mom used to come back and feed the catfish. They'd come to the top and boil. There was a fence line. There's still a post over there, if you can see it. This used to be a fence line. It used to divide the fields, but now it's just one field across. Me and Dad and John cut this tree down last year, and that was an adventure. That's a pretty big tree, and now I've cut a lot of small trees. But it's one of the bigger ones, and the thing is, he didn't want it to fall that way. He wanted it to fall this way, and I did the best I could, and I got it hung up, and it was hung up, and I used some wedges, tried to bring it back this way, and couldn't, and finally we let it go that way, and it just missed the dog fence. So we should have sent it that way the whole time, but that's the dog fence he built for Maggie, and it had a tree there in it, an evergreen tree to give her shade, and it fell over, and Dad just left it fell over because it still gave her shade. Erosion was so bad, the field was washing in. Dad took his tractor and made an area and had these big rocks delivered, and he made this himself to keep the soil still in the field instead of washing out these big ditches. This is from the heading back up through the field to the back of Dad's house. This one tree's kind of stunning, magnificent. Somebody was drunk when they bush hogged that path. I'm not going to say it's me, but it might have been. I wasn't really drunk, but looks like it. This fence line's between the two fields. We cleaned out a lot of trees in it. This is heading up from the field up to Dad's from the woods. It's the back of Dad's. That tree's kind of magnificent. And there was a fence line here we cleared out. A lot of trees. Left this hickory. The hickory nuts.
Squirrels went nuts.
Yeah, they're looking for you. The big hickory tree. Like the sky today. Branches on this tree. That'd be a big family tree. 1,000,000 branches. There's probably some cow fence from Grandpa Hiler, I'm guessing. About 100 years old. There's a big tree that's not in the big part of the woods. That's a big one. Dad would have been on this. He'd have been on this right away. No trees in the field. He enjoyed cutting the trees off the field. It was a job. That's what he enjoyed. It's one of those paths Dad cut. Deer appreciate it.
Turkey.
We're watching for one. You hear one? Oh!
It's close. We found it.
This is a tall tree too.
Yeah.
A mustard kicking cat championship of the world. Go ahead,
What
Mom.
Lucas can do.
Oh, he kicked it pretty far. See how far you can kick it.
Mustard.
Oh. Oh. Mustard. Oh, mustard. It's all empty. Last time. Last time here. Heading out. Last time here. Last time.